Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with another one. Stephen Will ready to talk Detroit Lions football. But before we do, hit that subscribe button. It's free, helps the channel out tremendously. And think about becoming a member. That'll help you out as well as help us out. Steve, what we got on the dock today? What we talking, man?
Some Lions news, some big time Lions news, some starters coming back, some role players coming back, and then I got a question for you at the end of this show, Will, that I don't want to spoil, but I'm interested to see what your answer will be. I'm truly curious to see if your mind has changed on something since the last time we talked about it. So stick around, hit that like button, enjoy the show, sit back. Tuesday night, Will, Malcolm Rodriguez, where do you want to begin? Coming back.
Yeah, I'm a Rodrigo fan. For those who don't know or haven't seen me put the helmet on my head, that's a Rodrigo helmet right there. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Love the guy, but Steve, it immediately poses a question for me to you. What the heck is Rodrigo going to do for the Detroit Lions? Because you said it, I've said it, I believe we got the best linebacking core in football. Derek Barnes holding it down, right? We got Jack Campbell holding it down. Alex Ancelotti hold it down. Where do you put a Malcolm Rodriguez?
Boy, a player like him sure would be great on special teams, I think, Will, because our special teams, especially kick and punt return, have not been great. Haven't really dove into what's causing a lot of those problems, but it seems like a lot of teams are starting at like the 35 or better for me. I mean, I'd have to look at the data and see, but I'm just, the eye test just says our special teams need some help. I think Rodrigo starts there, maybe earns a spot in a rotation because those three guys you just mentioned aren't coming off the football field well, unless like a boo-boo happens or someone needs a couple plays off. Jack Campbell's played like the best linebacker in football. Hate it or love it, it's just the facts. But he's not coming off the field. Derek Barnes is playing great. Alex Anzalone is playing great. So I think Rodrigo has to earn his playing time on the field, or if someone needs a series or two off.
I think you're dead on. I think a lot of people, and I hate to make because it kind of sounds negative when I say it like this, but I think a lot of people are making this a little bit of a bigger deal than maybe that it is, or or Steve, maybe they
Fullback,
aren't.
fullback too. Some stuff there, maybe.
I don't know about fullback, but I will say something that interests me about Rodrigo is this whole Alex Anzalone situation. We've been playing a song and dance game with Alex Anzalone. Is Rodrigo potentially the long term answer for Alex Anzalone? Do you think that that's possible? Do you think that that's something to keep an eye on? Because we haven't given Alex his long term deal, or at least 2, 3 year extension. Do you think Malcolm Rodriguez could be the reason? Could he be getting a tryout for Alex Anzalone's job long term?
Definitely makes sense. I feel like if Anzalone was going to have a deal, it would have been signed by now. So I don't know. I know there's some contract stuff at the beginning of the year. He held out of camp for a bit. Didn't he hold out of camp or did he show up on time? I can't remember. I think he missed
Uh,
the first week, maybe.
yeah, but he was hurt, Steve. He
Yeah.
was he was hurt. It wasn't a holdout. He was injured.
Right. Yeah. I know.
Mm.
I'm pretty injured right now too. Here I am showing up to work still. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's definitely. I don't know. Does the front office see that the writing's on the wall for Alex, and they're just kind of like, hey, this is probably going to be your last run. I think Alex probably sees it. He's been around long enough. Brad Holmes probably is saying it without saying it. Like, hey, you're probably not going to be getting another contract. So he'll either be on another team next year or figure out something what he wants to do. But I don't know. I don't make it. I don't want to make it sound like I don't want Alex to be on the football team. I think he's been great. But if there's a chance for a younger guy with a little bit more juice in the tank to get on the field, absolutely, why not?
I agree with you. I'm interested to see how it goes. I think his play will tell the tale on how they'll move forward. If he doesn't look like he can be the answer, then maybe you get with Alex, you apologize, and maybe maybe you offer him a little something better than what you've offered him thus far. But if he gets back, goes on special team, plays out of his mind, and Coach Shepard is great about getting guys little micro roles, man, little micro roles. Finds you a little spot on this defense, a little role for the team that you're going up against. I think that those get him some opportunities to get out there and do some things, and if he excels, then maybe that role continues to expand, and maybe we see Alex go on about his way. But I'm with you. Love Alex Anzalone. Love Thor. Love the locks. And I'm hoping that they find a way to figure it out, and we have both of those guys moving forward.
Yeah, who else we got? We got some other guys coming back. You gave a list. Will open the case for us.
So DJ Reed was somebody who's talked about as a potential to be back this week, as well as Kirby Joseph. I think that both of those are huge news, even though our secondary has been playing really doggone good football. But DJ Reed is somebody who has got an interception in his short time, a short healthy time in Detroit, and Kirby Joseph is an absolute ball hawk. When I think about the Philadelphia Eagles game, that defense played out of their mind. They played really well. But one thing that we were missing, Steve, was that turnover. Those are two guys who can assist us with getting that turnover. And that's why I think that is big news. Not just guys that are going to come in and do their job, those are guys that can come in and take the football.
Well, I just don't think we talk enough about Amik Robertson. Like what he did to Devontae Smith the other night was just pretty much carry him in his back pocket and just walk him around the field and just show him where everything was. Like taking him on a tour of a football field. It was absolutely magnificent. You put him at outside corner while TA is still banged up, and maybe he comes back this week too because he just had a concussion. So he missed a week. I would imagine not many concussions linger for 2 weeks. So I'm thinking he's going to get cleared. So we could be getting 3 starters back this week, Will. All in our secondary. Our defense is playing great, but you want to keep your starters in there. You want to keep everyone healthy. Let's get back to that. DJ Reed, Amik Robertson, Terrion Arnold. We've had this conversation before. Who plays where? Don't care. It's probably game dependent on what the other team's wide receiver room's looking like. So anytime we're getting a starter back, massive news. 10 out of 10 news. Like I can't think of bigger news than getting a starting corner back on this team who hasn't played since I think it was Cleveland. I had to look it up the last time we talked about it. So that was like week 4. So here we are 2 months later, and we're just now getting our defense healthy. I think it's a huge step in helping production. But we kind of did get a stop there, Will. And how dare you? You don't consider a turnover on downs a turnover when stopping the tush push?
Not the same. It's getting that interception or that forced fumble. It's
Interceptions
not
are
the
further
same.
down the field. You stop a tush push at the team's 40. That's pretty significant. Well, we're talking field position here. Turnover
The,
on downs.
the tush push isn't going to get that dream that you want to come true in these
I
next
wanted at
upcoming
Ford
home
Field.
games.
At Ford
Yeah,
Field,
I get
yes.
it, but I'm just saying, like that's the dream you want. Stopping tush pushes isn't going to make that dream come true. Your dream has to come true by a forced fumble or an interception. Those guys scooping and scoring or taking a pick to the house. Hopefully, that's about to happen when whatever. Listen, I would imagine. I don't know what's going on with Dart. He's been playing some doggone good football, but he's a young guy. So if he's not out there, Jameis Winston just loves to just sling it and take risks. If anybody is going to come into the forward field and throw an interception for us, it's going to be him, and then us taking it to the crib. So I think, Steve, you have a strong chance of your dreams coming to fruition if we get those two guys back, and Jameis Winston is the quarterback because he's going to be letting that thing fly.
Yeah, I love defensive touchdowns, and we don't get them at home. We haven't had one in like 5 years. I haven't had one since I've been a season ticket holder for a little while. The last one I can remember, DJ Reed came close in that Cleveland game. I think he got to like the 10-yard line or somewhere around there. I thought that was it, but we had the one in Green Bay last year with Kirby Joseph while we're on his name too. So yeah, I'm dying for it. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of like a thing I'd like to see because I think it just kind of swings momentum massively, especially in a close game and changes the trajectory of a game. If a defense scores or special teams play, that's absolutely probably points that coaches aren't counting on. So yeah, looking forward to that. But getting both these guys healthy, all pro Kirby Joseph and the best corner on our team, possibly Amik Robertson, maybe I don't know. It's a good conversation to have. But DJ Reed coming back is also massive for the team.
I'm not going to beat up too much more secondary stuff, Steve, but I would really like to see TA get some little nickel action. And I'm not going to say we need to just reduce him to only playing nickel, but I just think he's big, strong, and physical, man. I think he's very underrated playing in and around the box. Amik is just a little bit of a smaller guy. He's down to get physical. Like, let's not get that twisted. But TA is he looks like a safety. I said that earlier this season. He doesn't look like a corner. He's a big physical guy, and I think that he could play in around in the box. So maybe we'll see it, maybe we won't. Maybe it'll be a package deal like you mentioned, but I'm interested to see how this thing unfolds because, like you said, Amik has been playing some phenomenal football.
I think Amik Robertson should be in the Pro Bowl. Like he might not have the interceptions or any crazy stats. I think he only has one pick on the year, but the way he's playing, Justin Jefferson held in check. I mean, Jamar Chase held in check other than like late in the game when he kind of put a nice move on Amik and beat him. But other than that, like Amik Robertson is just the unsung hero of this Detroit Lions defense. Like old reliable. Even all last year, he was still the one guy that stayed healthy up until the very last game. Like we counted on him for a lot. This year, he's been in the same boat, just kind of shuffling around with all the injuries. So yeah, I mean, DJ Reed, Amik Robinson, I don't care who the best is. We have both of them on our team, so we'll figure it out. It's a good problem to have. But well, I got to ask you a question, unless you got something else.
I got some more, but we can move to your question first. I got all day, man. I got nothing but time here.
All day. I'm on limited time here. Well, just I'm on the Lord's time now. Whatever He blesses me with, I don't know.
I understand.
Um, how would you feel if the Lions signed Odell Beckham Jr. because his suspension is up today? He's a free agent. Our offense is struggling. I know the keys start with the offensive line. That's where the struggles are. But there's also some times where it's like we only have two receivers that another team has to cover. So how do you feel about Odell Beckham Jr.?
Interest from 1 to 10, 0.
Zero
Yeah,
interest.
and I've told you before that's my oldest son's favorite receiver. Behind him is J Mo. After that, I think he already has J Mo on our team. He doesn't need both of his favorite receivers on this team at this point. Nothing against Odell Beckham. I just don't think that he's a fit for the Detroit Lions, and I think that his best days are behind him. So, for those reasons, I would pass on Odell. But I wish him nothing but the best. But it sounds like you have a little bit more interest in me, Steve. Are you interested in Odell?
I know there's some character issues. I know what he tweets out. I know his family tweets out some stuff. I know there's some distractions. Do I think all that just magically up and disappears? Probably not. Um, but let me ask you this, Will. Do you think he would be more productive than Isaac Tesla? And I think the answer for me is yes. I mean, we're talking about Isaac Tesla with 3 catches on the season. He's not getting targeted. He's not getting looked at. And I know there's abundance of issues with the offense way before we get to Isaac Tesla being on the radar of why this offense is struggling. He's probably at the bottom. Offensive line, Jared Goff, I get all that. But if we could get another receiver in here to produce, open up the field, stop some double teams from JMO, St. Brown. We lost Sam Laporta likely for the year. I'm still hearing. So I think another set of hands, dependable hands, would be beneficial for the Lions. My interest level, I'm not at a 0, but I'm not at a 10. I'm probably at a nice modest 3 to 4. Like I'm not overly crazy about the idea, but I do think with this season and how things are going, it could be a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, I think it'd be a distraction for an offense that already has some issues, and the last thing we need is distractions, man. He's doing TikToks, he's tweeting out stuff, he's working on his dance moves. I just I don't want to see any more of it, honestly. For me, I think when I think about Isaac, man, he needs opportunities before I'm going to say he's the problem. I think right now for me, the problem is the offense and not him. Again, 50-50 balls are not a thing for him. It's 60-40, it's 70-30. We need to give him some opportunities to catch some of those 70-30 balls. And I got to see him be unsuccessful before I'm going to say that he's the problem, as well as scheming him up and getting him involved. I'm really hoping that over these next couple of weeks, we see a little bit more of him.
While we're on Isaac Tesla, do you think, I know a lot of people are saying he should be playing tight end while Sam Laporta is out. Do you think that that's a realistic option?
I think, Steve, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, but I don't think that those are true football guys that are talking about him playing tight end because for what a tight end has to do, I don't think that he's equipped to do what a tight end needs to do. Can he catch the passes at tight end? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's without a doubt. Can he get in there and get into the run game and block the ends?
Yeah.
Can he block outside linebackers?
Yeah.
That's not a job that he's ready for, especially even as a rookie. He's a little light in the ass for it, and I know he's willing, and I understand that, but that's a tough job. And for those of you that think it's easy, let's scroll back to Tim Tebow just getting manhandled, and I think Tebow was about 250 at the time, trying to build his body up to be able to block, and he was getting thrown around like a child. I think that you would see a lot of that for Isaac if he went down into those trenches in a consistent basis playing tight end. Now, could we line him up at a tight end spot and let him run a route or line him up as a wing to do some cool stuff? Yeah, but down in and down out, he'd get punished.
I'll tell you firsthand, Will, and you know this, the wing T formation is a dying offense that shouldn't even be a thing anymore. Mineral High should have gave it up 28 years before they did. So, yeah, I'm with you 1,000%. You said it perfectly. Like, there's a huge difference between blocking a 6'6", 270-pound defensive end versus him blocking a 5'10", 190-pound nickel or corner. Like, it's massively different. You could line them up there, but they know, hey, this guy's going out on a route. He is not coming in here to block a player like Miles Garrett or anyone of that caliber, or even anyone on our team would probably just mow right through him. It's just not a good matchup. You could put him out there as like a inside slot receiver and call it a tight end if you want, but I don't love it in the run game. I think he's good blocking in the pass game, or in the pass game as an outside guy with those smaller frames and going against him. But yeah, I'm with you. Well, he's not taking on linebackers or defensive ends. That would we would just be scraping Isaac's body off the turf if that's what we
Yeah,
did.
100% agreed. And I hope I didn't offend anybody because I see a lot of people putting that in the comments, but that's just my 2 cents. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. But Steve, while we're on that tight end position, that's really what was on my mind. But it goes back to this offense and it goes back to Jared Goff. I've mentioned it this whole season. Jared Goff gets in trouble. His immediate thought process is to look to St. Brown or look to Sam Laporta. He doesn't have Sam Laporta for the foreseeable future. Coach Campbell went to the podium and he didn't seem 100% confident that Sam Laporta was coming back this season. Right? It wasn't just definitive. We'll see. He said, I hope to get him back this season. So I know we can talk about how he went on the IR and that could be 4 weeks. We don't know for sure that that's going to be 4 weeks. Does this worry you for this Detroit Lions offense that Jared Goff does not have one of his biggest safety nets?
Yeah, it does worry me. But I think I don't know that I have like the profound solution, but I think if we put David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs on the field at the same time would help. And I would prefer Gibbs as some type of slot receiver and him being another guy in the middle of the field that Jared Goff trusts. That's the only option I really have. Is it Brock Wright? I mean, who's more explosive? Obviously, it's Jameer Gibbs, but big Brock Wright is a bigger body. There's options. I didn't love what we did against the Eagles in that regard because we knew Sam wasn't going to play. Amon-Ra St. Brown was pretty much ineffective, so it was kind of like if Jameson Williams wasn't wide open, we didn't really have much of a passing game. So that's got to get fixed too. Because I'm with you. Yeah, when he's looking for a check down and his young tight end Sam Laporta, I don't know what he is, like 6'4", 240, something like that. I don't know. I'm probably being a little disrespectful there. I'm not 100% sure of his height and weight or those dogs' height and weight that are up above you. I don't know what's going on up there either. It's just snack time in the war in the Fort House. I thought so. Yeah, he's got to have someone across the middle of the field other than St. Brown that he trusts. I don't know who that is. That's just an idea of maybe using, and we've talked about this before, getting Gibbs and David Montgomery on the field at the same time. Maybe not the best option, but I think it helps a little bit. What do you think, Will?
Yeah. I love the idea of sprinkling getting Gibbs into the slot, but you got to play games with, okay, we want to get a look at Isaac. You got St. Brown out there. You got J-Mo out there. Who are you taking off the field? What does the formation look like if we're not going to utilize that tight end position because we're subbing out one of those running backs to get into the game? What does that look like in pass pro, what we've been struggling with? It's just a lot of issues that we have right now. Brock Wright wasn't a guy that I saw when I started looking at the film that you could confidently say was going to win his one-on-one matchup. And then you start talking about Fursker and Dwelly and the list goes on. Those definitely aren't guys that I'm looking at that are going to be above Brock Wright. I think this is a huge issue for the Detroit Lions because of the dependence level that Jared Goff has on Sam Laporta. So now he's down to St. Brown being his safety net, his one safety net. So if I'm a DC, I'm going against the Detroit Lions. I know when Jared Goff gets in trouble, it's St. Brown now. That's where those eyeballs is going. I'm bracketing him. I'm spying him. I'm hitting him. I'm just doing it's going to make planning for the Detroit Lions a little bit easier if we don't come up with a plan B. I think you have to get Isaac involved And Steve, I think we got to develop something else. I see that this momentum with JMO is really starting to go. I think we need to keep pushing that in the same direction. But Steve, and I'm gonna pose a question to you. You threw Odell at me, and please excuse me if this young man has gotten, well, not young man, this old savvy veteran has gotten picked up. I didn't see that he's gotten picked up before the podcast. But can we potentially have a reunion with Zach Ertz? Because Zach Ertz cleared waivers. I don't know if he got picked up in the last few hours. As far as I know, I didn't see him getting picked up by anybody. And if he hasn't, Steve, would you be interested in Zach Ertz coming in to kind of put a band-aid on Sam Laporta being down for a few weeks? I know he's familiar with the Detroit Lions. He was here for a cup of coffee. He never really got an opportunity to really play for us, but he might be a familiar face that we could get back.
I wasn't even aware Zach Ertz got waived, if I'm being honest, because I just watched him in the Spain game and he played. So
Okay.
when did he get waived? Was it today?
Yeah, I seen him getting waived today. Let me double down.
Well,
Hopefully,
did
I'm
you,
not.
please don't tell me you got by
Did I get?
a Twitter troll. I don't know. I'm asking, but if
Yeah,
you're right, because I know he just played for the Commanders on Sunday.
yeah, I did see that. So let me make sure that I'm not
Did you get burner
full of.
accounted, Will?
I could have, but I don't think that I did.
I'll be honest. I
Um,
really haven't been on social media today. I've been extremely busy. But let's assume he is available. Um, where's his flight coming in from? I'm off tonight. I can go pick him up. Like, yeah, I think it helps. I mean, he's older, but I think him and Sam Laporta in their prime. I don't think there's big of a drop off. Now I know Zach Ertz is, he's on the back nine. We'll be polite, and he was with us for 10 seconds. I thought we should have kept him, if I'm being honest. Yeah, my interest level for that would be 8 out of 10, maybe even a 9. I'm very interested if that happens to be the case. I think he definitely helps work in the middle of the field. He's a bigger body tight end. He can block. He's a Super Bowl champion. Like, checks a lot of boxes. You don't even hear about Zach Ertz. He's a locker room guy. No issues. Wants to just keep playing football. Knows what it takes to win. Shit, I'll change it. My interest would be a 10 out of 10. Will, I think he really fixes an issue that we have, and Brad Holmes has shown that he's been interested in him before. So, absolutely, get the tracking of the flight information to me. I can pick him up anytime between now and 6 a.m.
I dig that. I'm scrolling through right now. Um, nope, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it.
I hope you didn't get burner accounted. You're a good guy. You don't deserve that if that happened to you.
I definitely deserve it if I did. But yeah, he's somebody that I would definitely be interested in. And I know that that's something that he's been talked about as someone who kind of has been lacking in the run game as of late. So if he is available, that was going to be my next question to you is even though he might not be the best in the run game, would you still be interested? But I think the Detroit Lions, kind of fielding that question, would be able to even kind of use it as a package situation. I don't think he's going to be a complete liability as it would be to put a receiver in that position and down in and down out. And if not, man, I'm just worried, Steve. I'm worried. And if it's not him, we got to look at somebody because I don't know that Fusker's the answer. I
Mm-mm.
don't know that Dwelly's the answer. I love Brock Wright, but he's more of our blocking tight end. I think instead of Odell for me, I would be looking at somebody who could be a little bit more of a receiver. And maybe even though we're losing a little bit in the run game, it's not as bad as putting a receiver right there.
There is one more option, Will. There is one more
Oh boy.
really good option, but I'll get to that in a second. The Lions run 12 personnel last year more than any other team. I don't know what the stats are for this season, but when you put your 12 personnel out there and you got Brock Wright and Ross Dwelly, you pretty much know those guys are more than likely not catching 7, 8 passes a game. You might have to check them once or twice for a reception. So I feel like when we go 12 personnel now, it's a sign that we're running the football or we're only running 2 receivers on a route. So I think that's really going to cripple us. I don't know how to fix it. Zach Ertz would be a huge help, I think. But Will, there's one other option out there. I can't believe you'd even disrespect this man.
Oh boy.
All the things this man has done for you, Will, and you're just going to disrespect the idea of Dan Campbell putting the pads back on for a couple more weeks, Will? You don't think he can do it? Call plays, manage the game, block, receive the football, Will. He can do it all. He's still got it.
I will say that that's not where I thought that you were going. I thought that you were going to go to Tom Kennedy. I thought that you were going for sure the TKA5, who
That's
who
not
is
that's not that's
just
not your
yeah.
worst idea either.
Oh boy, yeah.
You don't
But
think
yeah, that's all.
Coach Campbell's got a handful of games left in him?
I'll tell you this. I don't think that Coach Campbell has a handful of games in him. But if we needed Coach Campbell for a single game, there's zero doubt in my mind. He's not going to be a receiving tight end. But you needed him to get out there and block some people. Yeah, I would be 100% down.
I can't believe you were disrespecting my head coach like that. Well, if I'm being honest, I think he can play a couple more seasons. He's only in his
Listen, in
40s.
his
Look, you see the shape he's in?
listen in his prime, he was not a receiving tight end. So
Just don't be
I think that
surprised if in a game at halftime, Coach Campbell comes out with the pads on, rocking that 89 like Bobby Boucher in The Water Boy. Okay, just comes back and just leads the team to glory. He just leads them to glory. Will it's anything's possible.
yeah, facts.
You got anything else for tonight?
That's it.
All right, I can tell you just want to get out of here. You're just done with me tonight. Stick around, hit that like button. We'll be back later with another show.
Peace.
Sign Odell Beckham. 0 out of 10. Absolute disrespect.